Yo, what up world? What up UK? What up Africa? What up Nigeria? My name is FireBoy DML and you're watching Factory 78. Keep it locked. One time. I am from the southwestern part of Nigeria, Abeokuta, Ogun State. But I was born in Shagamu, but I grew up in Abeokuta. My dad is from Abeokuta, Ogun State. So I grew up there, primary school, secondary school, until I now left Abeokuta to Ile-Ife, for uni to study English, and that's when my dream as a man and as an artist started. That was when my journey basically started. Before that, it was just school, church, home, nothing much. Lock myself in my room. I was trying to discover myself. That was pretty much my search for discovery all those years. I had a fun time with my family. I didn't have any friends, but I had a good time. But like, life basically started for me from uni. Abeokuta is pretty much a very sleepy town. That's what I remember growing up. I'm sure it has changed a bit now. I still went back recently, a couple of years ago, and it's still that same vibe. But things have changed a bit, but it still gives you that very chilled. It's entirely different from every other city in the southwestern part of Nigeria. It's very calm. Everybody just going about their lives. Most people in Abeokuta are pretty much content with their lives, and that's it's a vibe on its own. You have to leave that kind of comfort zone if you really want to, if you're really ambitious enough. So it's home to most people, sure. So that's what I can say. And it's a town with a lot of history. I remember they say our forefathers used to hide under the rocks to run away from the insurgents and blah blah blah, and that's why they named it Abeokuta, under the rock. It's pretty much good history. Yeah, I didn't leave Abeokuta for Lagos. I left Abeokuta for school, Ile-Ife, and it was from school that I started sneaking. I first started sneaking from school to Lagos, from time to time, before I now had the balls to tell my dad that, yo, this is what I want to do with my life. And then he let me do it, and then I left school for Lagos in 2016. So from 2016 up until now, it's Asake, Blaqbonez, Check. We're all mates in school, in uni, in Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Chinko, a lot of us in the industry right now doing great stuff. We're mates back then in uni, and we're doing pretty much the same thing, the same way we're doing it, the same charisma, the same drive, the same spirit of hustle. We carried it from school up until Lagos. Oh yeah, I've been a fan of Olamide since. Every young hustler back then in school.
You a rapper that time?
I actually used to rap, as a matter of fact.
What's the vibe, man?
Let's not go there. There's a reason I'm singing now. There's a reason I stopped rapping and started singing. But those were dark times, but they were good times still, sure. But yeah, Olamide inspired a lot of us. Even if you're not a fan necessarily, you had to have been inspired by his music and his drive and his hustle. He represented every single young chap from the streets. So it has always been an inspiration to me. So when he hit me up, he just went straight to the point. Are you signed to anybody? I'm like, no. Are you interested in joining YBNL? I'm like, who is this person? Am I even chatting with real Olamide in the first place? And I was like, I said, yes. I said it with just half a mind. And he said, welcome to YBNL. Before I could even type a reply, it was like he had put it in his bookmarks that, okay, maybe if this boy says it, he just posted the pump. I just saw I was following him on Twitter back then. I wasn't following him on Instagram. I just saw the notification. I'm like, what? Is that how it works? And it wasn't in the country at the time. That's just the kind of person he is, just straight to the point. He makes a decision and he follows his mind and he just goes all in. And then he came back to the country, I think a couple of weeks later. We had already started working on the album before we even met in person. The YBNL Mafia Family album, where Jealous was. And, we linked up, talked at length, everything. Jealous, my first single, my breakout single.
I thought you mentioned someone.
No. My breakout single, Jealous. Before we now extracted it from the album and pushed it as a single, and then it became my breakout single. Of course, though. It's best, and I can't reveal the name. But there was this studio I was in Ife, my base studios. Shout out to TME, the first human being that ever gave me the chance to record a song in the studio. Still have a very good relationship, and he's a producer in Lagos. And that was where I was sweeping the studio, cleaning up the stuff, cleaning speakers, and I stood there, watched, learned how to record, how to do stuff. Artists would come in and go. And then when some of the artists were stuck, I'd be like, do you mind? I have a few melodies here that could work. I have a line here that could work. Before I knew it, that's how I started knowing how to write songs.
Okay.
And that journey, even me, I didn't realize that I was building up myself. I thought I was just, and then throughout all those time, there were classes, of course. Classes. There was a time I deliberately missed a paper because I had a session and I didn't want to miss it. And it was at that moment I knew how badly I really wanted this stuff, and how much I had that conviction that, this is it. Like I said, I was in the studio, and then of course my opportunity came because at some point when you are in the studio and you're cleaning stuff and you're doing stuff, the chance will come for you to record something. So they just jokingly said, I enter studio now, enter the booth and just and then I think he was playing some guitar and I just sang something to it, and then I took it to my dorm room that night, and then I remember listening to the song all night, and that feeling of creating something from scratch just blew my mind. And it was at that moment on my bed in my room 101 block 3 that I realized that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And that was it. It took me 5 years to discover my sound, actually. From 2012 when I started to 2017, that was my second year in Lagos. I discovered that it was better for me to just stay in one place and I was just recording. That's all it took for me to find my sound. I was recording myself, I would mix myself, I would do my own artwork myself. There was nobody going to do anything for me. I didn't have any money to put my money on Apple Music, or I didn't even know how to do it. I had SoundCloud. I would just put my music on SoundCloud at that time and put a snippet on Instagram. People would be like, I like it. And then I'll post the full version on SoundCloud. And I'll be like, song has dropped, go and listen to it. And that was it for me. And I did that for like a year.
Okay.
And that was it. I found my sound. I found that I had a special kind of Afrobeat in my hands. Changed my life.
Change the game for you. It's
Completely.
growing, and you're still moving.
Right now it's obviously Peru, but like mentally, I think the song that changed my life, I would say it's King. King was I recorded that song when I was still on the ground, right before Olamide signed me. I dropped that song, and then 3-4 days later was when Olamide signed me. And King is a very symbolic song to me because that song signifies me being a complete artist. That was when I recorded it. I'm like, I don't sabi finish. Like that was it. I was like, no, I'm ready. Anybody that signs me now, that was my mindset when I recorded the song. And that's so Peruba was the song that changed my life, obviously. But like King was the one that really started that thing for me. Oh, definitely. And that's what my new album is about. Me accepting, who I am right now. And stop being all that laid back thing is not. I mean, it's the face, but I might still go back to that. But like right now, it's more about me knowing and realizing who I am. No matter who you are, people always take advantage of you. People always want to take advantage of you, even when they don't even realize. That's what human beings. I think that's one major flaw that every single human being has. When we see an opportunity to take advantage of something, we will most likely take advantage of it. So like that's not even a problem for me. It's normal stuff. Oh, definitely. And it's even going to get better. And it's not just streaming. There are like different platforms to promote our music now. There's TikTok, there's stuff like that, and it's only going to get better. Of course, there are cons, but like the pros they're heavy. When you listen to my music, you can tell that I do it for longevity. But I mean, there are some songs that you make based off vibes. There are some songs you make just for people to enjoy themselves. But if you look at my discography, you will discover that most of my songs are made from pure love. I mean, I started this stuff way back when there was no promise of anything. So it's obvious I started it for the love of it. I'm proud though. And I feel like right now we need to move on from making the world accept the sounds to making the world accept the culture. I think that should be our focus now, moving forward. And we're already doing that. It's still through music that we'll achieve this thing, because this is what we know how to do. I don't know how to do anything else apart from, make good music and push my culture, push my music, push my people through my music. And that's what the rest of my generation are doing. Well, yeah, for me as an artist, I would say every album is a different character arc. from my first album, Laughter Season Goosebumps, you have this naive young lover boy. To Apollo, you have this honest but laid back superstar. To Playboy, who is this big superstar bragging and all that stuff. So I feel like as an artist, we live different lives at some point in our lives, and we have to document those lives through albums, through our music, and that's how I choose to document my own life. I literally just said that, from that young naive lover boy to the reclusive superstar to the open playboy character superstar now, so different character acts, and I'm only looking forward to what's next for me. Well, not that kind of playboy. I've said it many times that this playboy is basically.
Football, like you like to play football.
I mean, yeah, I love to play football, and it's something I do every week, But like, this is someone that's coming out of his shell, to play, to just have fun, to not overthink everything and just live life. Well, I'm self-aware to know that it's not all your songs are going to be big hits, But I'm at a stage in my life now and my career where I have a fan base, and I know that they love my music. That no matter what I put out, they're gonna love me for it, and they're gonna accept and understand where I'm coming from with each release. So that pressure is no more there. When I just came in the game, of course, I was like, hey God, stuff like that. But like as you grow, you learn, and I know better now. I don't let external pressure get to me. It's the only internal pressure that gets to me. Yeah, I had my first writer's block last year. This was after my second album, Apollo. And, I was worried about it. I was waiting for the transition to happen, and it didn't come through. And I told Olamide, I was like, maybe you need to leave the country, take a break. And that's what I did. I went to the United States of America. It didn't even take up to a month, and I recorded Peru, and that was it.
On a private jet, right?
Well, not yet. It's not a one-man thing. That's why I have a team. That's why I have someone like Olamide with me. It helps with those kind of decisions. Go back and forth. Of course, it leaves most of the decision to me. Because as an artist, you have to like take control of the narrative and take control of your own craft. But his guidance is always there for me and helps me, and the rest of my team too. Oh, of course, yeah. When it comes to making music, there are no rules for me. I go with the vibe. Whatever comes, as long as it's pleasing to my ears, that's what I go with. If you play something that is pleasing to my ears, melodies will come, lyrics will come. There are no rules. Music is freedom, like I always say. Like there's no certain, but I think with DJing is entirely different. There's a certain tempo you have to go with, sometimes a certain pace. But as an artist who makes music, I think that's the thing with our generation now. With our generation, there's not necessarily much trends that much anymore. Everybody has their own different sound. Like now, the industry is so beautiful that as long as your song is sweet, if you like, do 25 BPM, do 105, as long as it's sweet, it will blow up, and they will find a way to speed it up. Thankful to TikTok now, we have clubs, even DJs will speed everything up these days. So like, everything is just blown wide open, and it's beautiful to see. Collaboration for me it's never forced, and I don't think at this level, collaboration is difficult for me to get, so like, but I work with whoever the vibe of the song goes with, so thankful to Olamide, who's my A&R. He could, we got to align with artists I really wanted to work with on the album, and we got them. Like the Madonna collaboration, we had to like converse over WhatsApp back and forth. It took long hours, but we eventually achieved it. Same thing with some of my D-Smoke. Yeah, I think yeah. It was during COVID, so like there was no way I was gonna. So like, yeah, that was way after the collaboration, and then we got to connect in person. But sometimes there are restrictions, but the music is always has to go on. I don't discriminate with production, as long as I know that the producer has a great sense of music and melodies. That's what matters most to me. I wrote Bandana the day after I wrote Bandana, I think a week after I dropped Apollo. Actually, when I drop an album like that, to get my mind off the pressure of, how was the album doing or how's the release doing, I delve into intense recording, and that's how I recorded most of my hits. So I recorded the song and there was no hook for it. I tried different hooks, different melodies. It just did not sound right. And I had to admit to myself that, maybe you need someone with some kind of like different vibe to go on this thing. And then I told Olamide, and it was like, yo, I think Asake is the man for you, you know. Then we sent it to him, and you know, everything, we are here today. The rest is history, like they always say. There was no treatment. The treatment was a meeting, you know, myself, Asake, and TG Omori. We locked in, and we didn't even actually discuss mostly on the video. We were just talking, just vibing, and we from there we just talked ideas, picked ideas exactly, and I think that's the most organically planned video I've ever done in my life, you know, and I think moving forward it has taught me a very big lesson on how to, you know, really do stuff, and that was very beautifully done. Myself, Asake, TG Omori, we just locked in one room, discussed at length, talked about different weird stuff, and you know, ideas just came rushing in, and that was it. I think 2 days after we shot the video.
Okay, what about the floating car? I mean, I saw the.
And that was all. TG Omari, to be honest, you know, he's a very brilliant director. Yeah. So yeah.
Have you seen the reaction on YouTube? Like,
oh, come on! The video is still like top 3 trending videos in Africa right now, and it's amazing. Asake and I have been bros since like way back in uni. Like I said, we went to the same uni, Obafemi Awolowo University, and he studied theater arts. He's always been about that life. You know, it was just a matter of time. So all these things that everybody's seeing, like we've been seeing flashes of it like way back in school, and I'm just really happy for him. I'm happy for the old team. I'm happy for Olamide. You know, this is what he has always wanted. You know, the old team moving together as a force. It's always a beautiful thing when there's a group doing a madness in industry. You know, like the what's the Mavins? What were they called? More Eats Records. You know, that kind of energy. You know, it's been a long time we've seen that kind of stuff, and I'm just really glad, you know, to be part of that kind of, you know, group doing great stuff. No, we never performed together, but we've always had a relationship. We had an artist community back in school. Myself, Chinkoe Kun. There was no president. They were just top artists, and then, you know, the rest of the guys. So yeah, but we're all just guys back then. Blaqbonez, all these things that Blaqbonez are doing now, he has been doing everything since way back in school, like way back in uni. So it's just amazing to see all of us, you know, come out together and, you know, do amazing stuff outside of school. Yes. I mean, I know for sure there's J-Boy. J-Boy is an amazing rapper. Just watch out for him. It's gonna do great stuff. Like I said, it's always a matter of time. J-Boy, Jayboi. When Empire came to Lagos to see myself and Olamide, back then, you know, I think that was 2020. It was a really meaningful, you know, meeting, you know, and we could see that they really had vision for not just us, but for the whole of Africa, you know, Afrobeat wise. And Olamide tapped in with the dream. I tapped in with the vision, you know. The partnership has been amazing so far, and you can see it in not just YBNL. You can see it everywhere. In all the Empire have been distributing every single hit that's dropped this year, last year, the past couple of years, and it's amazing to see. I would never know. I would never know. But all I know is that I think signing with Olamide has been one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's a stretch. That's not for me to decide. But I know for sure that I honestly don't like to focus too much on my talent, to be honest, because talent is everywhere. You know, and the fact that talent is everywhere doesn't make it that special. You know, special. What makes people special is other qualities like artwork, determination, stuff like that. You know, that's what I like to drive. You know, but I know for sure that I bring something new to the table. I bring a different spice of Afrobeats, and I'm one of the leading artists of my generation. That's all that matters to me, to be honest. Peace of mind. There's nothing as satisfying as that, you know. With all the money and fame and the success and everything, deep down we all just want to be happy. Not happy. Happiness is a stretch. Happiness comes and goes and stuff like. But I focus on fulfillment, and to know that I'm doing exactly what I want to do with my life. Trust me. No matter the ups and downs that I face in my life, I know nothing can ever top the feeling of doing exactly what you want to do with your life. Nothing tops it. Well, yeah. I mean, there are many things I've said in my music that at the time, that was how I was feeling at the time. People change. And that's normal stuff. If they like to use it against me, that's their personal problem. I don't care. Well, I changed. Sue me. Like, I said this 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. Like, people change. I don't really want to. Yeah. The only difference I really want to talk about is, back home, of course, the love is always pure. You're seeing your people are seeing you. It's amazing stuff. And then, but like, the beautiful thing about performing outside Nigeria is seeing not just your fellow Nigerians, but seeing Africans, black excellence, blacks everywhere, just like celebrating Afrobeats with you. It's an amazing feeling. And when I was on tour in the United States, I experienced that, and I'm looking forward to experiencing it again when I perform, at the OVO Arena on the 13th of November concert.
Questions to talk about
that. It's been how many years? Like almost 4 years now, and I'm having my first headline show in the United Kingdom at the OVO Arena, Wembley, on the 13th of November. And I cannot wait. Tickets are selling out fast. Still selling, so it's not sold out yet, but still selling. You can always get your tickets. But don't tarry. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. It's been a long time coming. I feel like UK has shown me so much love, especially my London people, and this is the only way I know how to repay that in gratitude. So looking forward to having a great time with my people, celebrate Afrobeats together, hosted by Olamide. Olamide hasn't been in this country in like how many years, so it's going to be special, when it comes out, brings me on stage and stuff like that. I'll be honored for Olamide to host my event. Well, right now, fashion wise, honestly, your boy is free. Your boy is freelancing and trying to understand the whole scope of everything, because that's another industry entirely. You get. So I'm still trying to take my time. Although right now I'm ready, but I'm still. Oh, of course. Now my team they've been doing some back and forth, behind the scenes. This year, looking at next year in full force. We're going all out. But right now I'm focused on the concert. I'm focused on promoting the album, and those are my areas of focus right now. But right now, I think I'm working on merch for the album, for the concert. There's going to be merch for the fans, stuff like that. That's normal stuff, regular stuff. But like, my own fashion line is definitely going to, go in full force like next year, 2023. Oh, yeah, very captivating and informative, because I learned quite a lot of things I did not know before. But like I always say, Afrobeats is a very big, wide scope. And one documentary is not going to cover everything, so we're still going to keep telling the story. Everybody's still doing their things. Me, I'll still continue telling my own, Afrobeat story through my own music. Everybody keeps doing it. And in a few years, there'll be documentaries. There'll always be documentaries. We can never tell this, we cannot see all the story, but it's amazing to see people documenting history, it's inspiring. I'm not really big on politics, but one thing I do hope is that everything is resolved soon, amicably, Well, if you had asked me this question 2 years ago, or maybe even last year, I would have had a lot of answers for you. But right now, I'm just about living in the moment, Like I said, my focus is on the concert, my focus is on the album, and other, concerts that I have planned for Europe. FireBoy is entering Europe, going into, different, I want to have a world tour, that's my focus right now. Taking this persona. I represent Afrobeats right now, so like I have to take myself to all the corners of the world and be an ambassador of the culture, and that's my focus right now. Yeah, like I said, the Playboy the album is a different entire character arc for me. It's still gonna take a lot of getting used to. From fans who have been a fan of me since Laughter Tears and Goosebumps, but like people change. Like I said, artists live different lives, in the course of their career. So like, it's all about, as long as you have fans that stay with you, I'm just really glad about that. But this is a different mind space for me, and I'm really happy about how the album is doing. It's so far my most commercially successful album yet. You know, as you can see, everybody just wants to have fun and just chill. There's Peru, there's Playboy, there's Bandana, you know, art crazy records on there that just signify fun, nothing too deep. Sometimes just calm down and just have fun and just dance, you know, and that's what I'm preaching with, you know, this album. I don't want to reveal anything. But there's gonna be special guest artists. I don't want to mention names because I want everything to be a surprise. But one thing for sure is that we are all going to have fun celebrating Afrobeats. Reach out to me on Instagram, FireBoy DML, FireBoy DML. Twitter, same thing. TikTok, same thing.